Been asked to do a video on airbrush quick disconnects or airbrush quick release couplers. You choose what you want to call them. So the quick disconnect has two parts, and it's held together really by a spring-loaded collar. Just pull that bit back, and the part that attaches to the airbrush just comes away very quickly. Just put that back on there. Both ends have a 1/8 BSP fitting. Just bring that up a bit closer, and you'll just see in there that that's got a black O-ring, and that means that that helps form an airtight seal when it's screwed onto the airbrush. Some other manufacturers would suggest that you use some PTFE tape or plumber's tape on the airbrush inlet to make an airtight seal, but with that black O-ring in there you really won't need it. And at the other end, the part that goes into the air hose, that's a male 1/8 BSP fitting. So BSP just stands for British Standard Pipe. It describes the thread pitch, and it's the most common to airbrushes and air hoses. 1/8 BSP is about 9.35 millimeters. So the way it's connected to the airbrush, very simple. Onto the air inlet of the airbrush, which is a male 1/8 BSP, and just do it up to just slightly more than finger tight. And then on your 1/8 air hose, there's a female fitting. The air hoses that BARTSHARP sells, they've all got the black O-rings that are just inside. You can just see that there. So again, there's no need for PTFE tape, plumber's tape, because it will form an airtight seal. And simply screw that onto the male part of the quick release coupler, and there you have it. To disconnect, just pull back on the collar, it's as quick as that. And to connect, push in. So BARTSHARP offers two different types of quick release coupler. You've got the standard model, which I've just shown you on the previous video, and then there's a model with an air control valve on the side there. I'll come to that one in a minute. So the standard model, so you get the body and the connector. Those are sold by BARTSHARP for £3.60 each, but if you want 4 extra of the connectors, then they are £7.15. I'll put a link on it underneath the video. So you'll get that unit and 4 extra connectors. As I just mentioned, we also sell the quick release coupler with the air control dial. Just see on there, so that allows you to control the volume of air passing through to your airbrush. That's just a case of turning it up and turning down to the required level. BARTSHARP Airbrush sell those for £4.50 each, and if you would like them with the 4 extra connectors, then that would be £8.10. So I mentioned a little earlier that the air inlet of the quick release coupler is a male 1/8 BSP, which is probably the most common size for an air hose. But if you've got a 1/4 BSP air hose, then that's not a problem, as BARTSHARP Airbrush sells a connector, and that connector is a 1/4 BSP male to a 1/8 BSP female. Simply screws on, and that will reduce your 1/4 BSP air hose down to a 1/8 BSP. Those are sold at £2.99 for 2, and that includes shipping within the UK. BARTSHARP Airbrush also stocks a fantastic range of airbrush hoses. So this one that we have here This 1/8 BSP, that will connect to your air pressure regulator, and then at the other end is the quick release coupler that I've been speaking about. It's a direct fix, it's permanently fixed to the air hose. That's available, as I say, 1/8 BSP to a 1/8 BSP quick release coupler, and that's at 1.8 meters long, and that will cost £6.50, including free postage in the UK. We also do the 3 meter version, so it's the same fittings each end, but 3 meters long, and that's £7.50 free postage within the UK. As a variant to this, we also have another air hose that has got a 1/4 BSP fitting as opposed to the 1/8 I'm showing you here, and it's got a quick release coupler at the opposite end, and those are £6.50 for a 1.8 meter and £7.50 for the 3 meters.